I had always believed that trust and honesty were the cornerstones of a marriage. My wife and I had been together for years, built a life together, and shared countless memories. I thought we were a team. I thought we had mutual respect and understanding. But sometimes, even the strongest bonds can reveal cracks you never anticipated. It all started with a warning. I noticed subtle changes in her behavior. Late nights, unexplained absences, secretive messages, and a growing distance in her tone. I tried to be patient at first, thinking perhaps it was stress or fatigue, that she needed space. But after months of mounting unease, I confronted her directly. I warned her about the path she was walking, about the choices she was making, and about the consequences that could follow if she ignored our commitment. I didn't say it out of anger. I said it calmly as a plea for honesty. I wanted her to understand that actions have consequences, that trust is fragile, and that our marriage could survive only if we respected each other. I hoped she would listen, that she would reconsider the direction she was heading. But she didn't. She brushed off my concerns, laughed them away, and insisted that nothing I said mattered. Her words were casual, dismissive, almost daring. For a while, I hoped she was joking, that I had misread her tone. But the signs were unmistakable. She was seeing someone else, hiding it behind excuses, and continuing as if nothing were wrong. The disregard for my feelings, the complete dismissal of our marriage, was painful to watch. But I had prepared myself for the worst. I had warned her. I had confronted her. The responsibility for her choices was hers alone. The revelation came at a moment I couldn't ignore. One evening, I returned home early and discovered her in the act. The confrontation was immediate, silent at first, as the reality sank in for both of us. There were no words that could disguise the betrayal. I felt a rush of anger, heartbreak, and disbelief. But amid it all, I remembered my warning, the words I had spoken months earlier, the guidance I had tried to give, and the patience I had extended. She had ignored it. She had chosen her path, and now she had to face the consequences. Her reaction was telling. For the first time, she realized that actions cannot be undone. She stammered, tried to explain, to apologize, to shift blame. But the damage was irreversible. My calm, controlled demeanor contrasted sharply with her panic and guilt. I had warned her, and now the reality of her choices confronted her in the most undeniable way. In the days that followed, I made a deliberate choice. I separated from her, not in anger, but with clarity. I secured my space, reflected on the years of betrayal, and took control of the life she had endangered. The heartbreak lingered, but there was also a profound sense of liberation. I had acted with integrity, maintained my dignity, and refused to be ensnared further in deceit. Watching her grapple with the consequences of ignoring my warning was almost surreal. She had taken every opportunity for secrecy and betrayal, and yet, when the truth finally surfaced, she had nowhere to turn. The regret was visible, raw, and undeniable. I realized then that betrayal doesn't just hurt the one who is deceived, it also becomes a burden for the one who made the choice, a reminder that actions have consequences. This experience taught me a critical lesson about boundaries and self-respect. Warning someone about the consequences of their actions is not a guarantee they will listen. It is, however, an act of clarity, a demonstration of foresight, and a chance to protect oneself emotionally. I had done everything I could to prevent this heartbreak, but she had ignored it. That was her choice, and I could no longer allow it to control my life. Months later, the memory of her reaction, the regret etched on her face, remains vivid. It is a testament to the fact that some warnings, when ignored, become lessons in the hardest possible way. Betrayal exposes character, tests resilience, and ultimately forces a confrontation with reality. I had warned her, she had ignored it, and she had learned the consequences the hard way. Through the pain, I found clarity. I rebuilt routines, focused on my passions, reconnected with friends and family who supported me, and reclaimed the dignity that had been challenged by her actions. The betrayal could not define me, and her regret could not undo the life I was determined to live on my terms. Looking back, the story is simple in retrospect. I gave warning, offered guidance, and sought honesty. She chose deception, and when the consequences arrived, she faced them alone. The lesson was painful but invaluable. Sometimes the hardest experiences teach us the most about trust, boundaries, and the importance of standing firm in the face of betrayal. In the end, I walked away not just from her, but from the chaos her choices created. I survived betrayal, reclaimed my life, and learned that strength is not only about enduring heartbreak, but also about recognizing when to enforce boundaries, when to let go, and when to protect one's dignity at all costs. Her regret was inevitable. My freedom, hard won, was lasting.